Caregiving can be the hardest thing that you ever do, but it can also be the most rewarding. This is one of those paradoxes that no one can really truly understand until they're living it. But here's something shocking. Over 53 million Americans are unpaid caregivers right now, and many of them don't even realize they're doing it. If you've ever helped a parent with their bills, taken care of a spouse after surgery, or even checked in on an elderly relative daily, you're doing it. And while caregiving can be rewarding, it takes a toll, physically, emotionally, and even financially. So today, we're breaking down the real impact of caregiving, the surprising benefits, the hidden struggles, and most importantly, how to navigate it without burning out. Let's start with the emotional impact. Caregiving isn't just about doing things for someone, it's about the deep emotional bond that's formed during this process. But this can sometimes translate negatively. For example, studies show that caregivers experience higher levels of anxiety and depression than the general population. And this is exactly because caregiving is so personal. You're watching someone you love struggle and sometimes feeling powerless to do anything to help them. It's the guilt of feeling frustrated, the sadness of watching a loved one decline, and the stress of balancing caregiving with your own life. But the good news is that not all the emotional impacts are negative. So as difficult as it can be emotionally to be a caregiver, there are also benefits. For example, it can actually boost cognitive health and emotional resilience. Now let's talk physical health. Caregiving is not just mentally exhausting, it's really physical work too sometimes. And here's a surprising fact. Because of this, caregivers have a 23% higher risk of chronic illness. Some examples of these types of physical demands are things like sleep deprivation, poor nutrition, and physical strain. But there are things that we can do to try to offset these demands. First, make sure that you set physical boundaries. This might mean learning proper lifting techniques or investing in mobility aids. Second, make sure that you are prioritizing your health as well. Even short walks or stretching exercises can make a big difference. And finally, get help. Don't wait until you're too exhausted. Reach out to a friend, a family member, or seek respite care. Caregiving is also expensive, even if you're not paying physically out of pocket. In fact, family caregivers spend an average of over $7,000 a year. And there are so many hidden costs. First, there are lost work hours because many caregivers either roll back the number of hours that they're at work or quit their jobs completely. And then there are the healthcare costs, whether it's paying for medications, supplies, or modifications to the home. And finally, transportation expenses. These add up when you're constantly shuttling someone to and from medical appointments. So what you want to do here is really make sure that you are financially prepared. Make sure that you're looking into Medicare, Medicaid, and the veterans benefits. Many families qualify for assistance without even knowing it. You can also see if your company provides caregiver benefits. Some companies provide paid leave or flexible schedules for these kinds of situations. And you won't know unless you ask. And finally, keep track of tax deductions. Some caregiving expenses might actually be tax deductible. Caregiving can also change relationships, sometimes in very beautiful ways and sometimes in not so bright and shiny ways. And there are a lot of reasons for this. One is that it might create some inner family turmoil as some family members step up to participate in the care while others withdraw. Both are natural reactions, but both require understanding and cooperation from all parties involved. If it's a situation where it's spousal caregiving, this can put a real strain on the romantic relationship. And regardless of who you're caring for, it can put a strain on your other relationships as you have to dedicate so much time to caregiving. Think back to when you had young children. How often were you able to get out of the house or go and hang out with your friends and do things that you want whenever you wanted? Not very often. It's kind of like going back there. But there are ways to maintain healthy relationships throughout this process. When it comes to interfamily struggle, make sure that you set expectations. Be clear about what you need from each person involved and how they can best support the situation. Second, find a support network. There are a lot of great caregiver support groups out there, both in person and online. And finally, make sure that you do put a little bit of a priority on your own personal relationships. Even a short coffee break with a friend will do wonders. All of this is great, I'm sure, but it still might lead to a situation where you're feeling just really burned out. And the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. So we need to figure out a way to fill your cup, because caregiver burnout is real and it can lead to serious mental and physical issues. But how do you know if you're burned out? Some common signs are feeling exhausted all the time, losing interest in things that you used to enjoy, and getting easily irritated or resentful. So what can you do if you notice that you're feeling burned out? Immediately start scheduling some short breaks. Even 5 to 10 minutes alone can help reset your energy. Seek support, whether that's family, friends, or a therapist. There are also a lot of great organizations out there that can help you, that don't cost a ton of money and can provide a lot of benefit. If you want to locate these organizations in your area, please start by looking up your local area agency on aging. And finally, make sure that you're prioritizing your sleep, because your sleep is just as important as your loved ones. So the real takeaway that I want you to have from this video is that caregiving is a journey. It's messy, exhausting, and sometimes heartbreaking, but it's also just a really powerful act of love. If you are a caregiver, know this: you are doing an incredible thing, you are appreciated, and you are not alone. If you are a caregiver, we would love to hear from you. Please share in the comments what you love most about caregiving and what the most challenging things are for you about caregiving. If this video helped you, please hit the like and subscribe button. That will help us reach more caregivers. If you're looking for more brain health tips, you can like and subscribe also, or please check out our website at brainevolved.com. All right, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next video.